Hey YouTube, this is Mega Man 009. Today I'm going to introduce some modifications I've done to my oil tank blast cabinet. Here I got angle iron welded in, and I got these wheels from my neighbor for free. And I still need to add some more wheels over here later on in the future, but I kind of like the way it is, so it doesn't really move around on its own. Let's see. And here I had the siphon fed. But I removed it because it wasn't working as well as I wanted to, and I went with a smaller pressure pop blaster, and it works really well for what I am doing in here. And I have a 30-gallon compressor, which gives time to catch up, and it blasts the way I want. It blasts the way I like. Um, I have my dust collector here, but I still need to add some type of cyclone. I'm probably gonna take a bucket and do a cyclone because the filter bag it collects a lot of dust. And I got these wheels in here, and this is just plexiglass. I'm probably gonna need to replace this later on. And here, this is my door. It's basically 1-inch square tubing with some sheet metal that I had, and I welded that in place to make my door and my handle. And I made some cheap locking mechanism, when I push it in. And here, there we go. And basically, you push this against the door, and it screws in. One thing I would like to do different later on is probably use a thicker bar stock, because if you can see, these already started to bend once you start closing the door. And I wish I would have made these more flush like a long time ago when I first started making the cabinet, but I didn't want to take out the angle iron and scrap them or try to redo it. It was just going to take too much time, so I just left these the way it is, and I just used some type of seal here. This is already coming off, but and to push out the sand, currently I'm just using this little pipe with a brush at the end, and I push all my sand down to this little hole and reuse it on a tarp, and then filter it out through some window screen. For my table, I just have 2x3s and made like a wooden table. I mean, I would have liked to use some steel, but steel was too expensive for the budget that I'm going in here. And you can see I got these floodlight sets from Harbor Freight. I had them laying around. I shortened them, and I just hung them and did some little tacks and welded a nut just to hold them. And the floodlight gives it enough light in here. And there you see the vacuum. One thing I need to add is some type of exhaust fan to push everything out and into the dust collector, because once I start using, once I start using the pop blaster, it gets really dusty in here and you can't see anything, so you kind of have to wipe it off with a rag for now. But another reason that it really gets dusty is that I'm using play sand mixed with some freaking abrasives, black oxide that I had from a long time ago. So it's already kind of mixed, and I just run everything through the filter and just reuse what I have. And you see this here, I made this is for little bolts that I can put in there. And I had a dead mount valve, and it already started to wear out, so I found this in my drawer, so I'm going to use this and see how this works. But that's pretty much covers everything for now. This is for my siphon. With me having a 30-gallon compressor, I really hate my siphon in here. I mean, I really wish I would have had a bigger compressor so it actually siphons, but it doesn't work well. So it's my pop blaster for the win, because it's been doing what I want for this cabinet. And And that's pretty much covers my blast cabinet. And I have this for a few years already, and I still modify it as I go. But thanks for tuning in. This is Mega Manny 009.